So today we're going to be performing a live demonstration of the Hearthstone Helper and Predictor program. Hopefully we can get ourselves a good opponent. One thing I will be implementing in the future is individual variables for each of the classes, so that way you can load up the class you're playing against with those variables instead of having to change the variables each time for your matchup. Also, from an AI opponent's point of view, against a single player, the opponent will be able to adjust its values. So if the player is struggling against it, you could lower the values to make them a slightly weaker opponent, or if someone's doing really well, raise the values to a more optimal level to become a stronger opponent. Up against a Warlock, so it should be an interesting matchup. I'll just adjust the values to what I have listed as the optimal ones. I'll just quickly run the sims to get the logs up to date, and we'll just play today against the Warlock. The Warlock performed extremely well in the testing, so this should be a very good demonstration, hopefully. So that's my first card.
Why do you go?
And the Voidwalker hopefully is in the predicted list, which it was. And the Flame Imp. Straight away I would almost be certain that we're up against a Zoolock, so it'll be very similar to the deck I'm playing, and we can see we've got two predictions out of the two cards, and from a list of the knowledge base, deck 2 and deck 3 were recorded as Zoolocks. So if we have a look at those, we can see we've got a match value higher than 100%. This one's about 79% because it was a different type of Zoolock. This Murloc deck also has a Voidwalker and a Flame Imp in it, so it'll be very interesting to see if we do get a Murloc, because they're quite rare.
So many possibilities.
So this card should determine what out of the two decks we are playing against.
So many possibilities.
Except he hasn't played a card, so we'll have to wait till next round. We've seen the played card list showing the cards that have been played. We've got the sort of prediction percentage that the program like to say. The Soulfire and the discarded Harvest Golem need to get played in there. The Harvest Golem would suggest that this is heavily a Zoolock, especially followed by a Knife Juggler. See, the predictor has gone 5 cards from 5 cards here. Deck 2, the Zoolock is still tracking at over 100%. There's a small gain in the Handlock deck. The second Zoolock deck is much lower, and the Murloc deck is dropping.
I wonder.
Put this apple on your head.
You see from the predictions that some of the cards the secondary cards are raising in its rate that it believes are in the deck. I'll play the Nerubian Egg that was played first. So we do 6 from 6 and followed by a Haunted Creeper, which I can choose from the prediction list because it's here. And choosing 7 out of 7 cards is fantastic. We see that the handlock deck's only got a small match. We didn't think it was that card from the playstyle anyway. The first Zoolock deck's tracking well, the second Zoolock deck's increasing, and the Murloc deck is decreasing. As an experienced player, it's the Demonology deck's a fairly new deck in the meta. I would heavily inclined to say this is not a Murloc deck because we haven't seen a single Murloc yet.
My shield for Arga!
I have been taking my time, so I'll make sure that we're in a dominating position. And the predictor is performing really well. There's the second Knife Juggler that I'll take from the prediction list. And a Direwolf Alpha, which is also in the predicted list.
My shield for Arga! Into the breach!
Hey, catch!
Sever my wrath!
As we close towards the end of the game, so we've predicted very well, which I'm quite happy with.
My shield for Arga!
Defender of Argus is definitely on the list, which will put a little bit of a slowdown on our chances of winning, but it should give us opportunity to draw more cards. See how well we go. Goes our Knife Juggler, was very crucial to our position in the game. And that is victory. As we can see, the Hearthstone predictor went 10 cards from 10 cards. It was definitely a Zoolock deck, which we can see here is tracked at, it's picked that at just over 100%, and the other type of Zoolock deck, which did drop to below 65%, which is good because on this match threshold that we have, which is actually set at 68%, it'll keep those two decks separate. So be more likely if we get more cards from this deck to have higher percentage of predictions and be further up the list on this deck. The Murloc deck, which is also very similar, but it's very important to keep those decks separate because of some of the cards in there dropped away as well, so it won't merge either. So overall a very good result for the demonstration. A good result for me, another victory.